Hello, friend. If it's your first time here, I want to welcome you to the collective. And if you're returning, I just want to let you know I'm so excited to see you. And in this reading, we are going to be talking about what has you feeling trapped, uncertain, scared, like you're just, I don't know, it's almost like you're just in this box and you're in this place and you've been here for so long. And it's like no matter what you do, you can't get out. And you've tried multiple different things, and it's just what do I do? How do I change this? Where do I go next? And as always, in order for us to know the solution, I like to know what we're actually facing as the problem. And again, you're going to be like, Kirsten, the problem's obvious, but I want to know what the underlying factors are. I want to know about what's keeping you stuck right now in this exact moment, not what got you here. So, got our cards. Let's see what they have to say. Laughter. All right, so this is an odd first card to get, I'm not gonna lie. But like my first impression as I'm like receiving it is that we haven't been taking this seriously. Now, don't get mad at me and don't say, Kirsten, I've been working at this for a long time. I've been taking this very seriously. I'm not saying you're not taking this seriously, but the cards are making it seem like there's something about the situation that we're not being realistic about, that we maybe are trying to minimize or just trying to write off because it's humorous. Again, this is the underlying cause, not the obvious cause. Two-faced. Okay, so laughter's starting to make a bit more sense, because if we're not being honest with ourselves or other people, then yeah, we are making a fool of ourselves. We are laughing at ourselves. We are literally just saying, I'm never going to get out of this. This is my life. And like accepting it and just pretending on the outside that we're doing stuff to change. On the inside, you just don't care enough to do anything about it. Like, you want to change, yes. But on the inside, it's like one of those where you just resign to yourself that this is my life and nothing's ever going to change. But on the outside, it's like, yeah, I'm doing what I can. I'm trying. But like, it's just all wordplay. It's not actual action. Responsibility. So I don't know if we're running from responsibility or hiding from responsibility. But when I get this card, the first thing I always see is like just all this like darkness and red down here. And it's a reminder that responsibility comes with a price. Like, you don't get to be responsible for something and like fail at it and not have, some type of consequence. Responsibility is something that you need to take seriously. So again, right off the bat, I feel like the cards are really just getting in there and saying, this is something that is just a part of what you actually need to do, and it's a part of who you need to be, and we need to start being honest with ourselves. I don't really care about you being honest with other people so much as I 100% care about you being honest with yourself. Because if you're not honest with yourself, nothing you tell anybody else matters. And then we got Wusa. So, yeah. Okay, so, like, this is a full message. All this is what's going on underneath the surface. This is how you're going to find your truth. Like, you're going to find stillness. You're going to find answers. You're going to realize your own truth. Maybe you're in such denial that you don't even know what your own truth is, and that happens. Been there, done that. Not proud of it, but sometimes you just get so caught up in your own lies, your own story, that you even forget that you're lying, and your new lie becomes what you think is your truth until you allow yourself to go into your center and you're like, oh snap, what I've been presenting to everybody else isn't my truth. So part of the reason why we're feeling trapped and feeling stuck is because you're trapped in your own mask. You're trapped in your own story. You're trapped in your own write-off. You're trapped in your own folly, pretending that everything's okay. You're putting on this really good play, but the play's falling apart. So let's ask the tarot cards why we are hiding, why we are running, why we are letting the busy talk and all the just... It's like we have to keep up this act, and if we don't keep up this act, then like we're going to see a truth or something about ourselves that we never really wanted to remember, almost. I don't know. It's not a great place. I'm not feeling it. This is a good place to be right now. So strength in its reverse position. Right off the bat, I'm getting that you're tired. Okay, and I get that. Specifically, if you've been having to keep up farce, an illusion that's not even true, you're going to be exhausted. You're going to be tired. But remember that true strength is inside of you. The real strength to actually come clean, be open, be honest, be vulnerable, it's there. Then we have the King of Cups in its reverse position. So again, the cards are calling you out because you have the ability and you know the know-how and how to actively work out your emotions and how to actively do what you need to do to be honest with yourself. But instead of doing that, you're allowing yourself to cast blame onto every other situation other than you taking responsibility. You are withdrawing. You are, just jumping from bad coping mechanism. And why am I saying it that it's like a coping mechanism and that you're not just, being emotional? Because the King of Cups is that active emotional release. So you're actively doing things that are numbing your emotions. You're actively doing things so that way you don't feel your emotions. And that could be a myriad of things. It could be, drugs. It could be alcohol. It could be, just escaping into a binge watching like Netflix or something like that. There's a lot of things that you can do that are considered bad coping mechanism, and I'm sure you know exactly what yours is. Eight of Swords in its upright position. So again, this is one of those where it's your own limiting thoughts. The Eight of Swords, swords the air element. It's your mind, it's your intellect, it's your thoughts, it's your cognitive function and behaviors. And it's one of these things where that web, you created it. That's the story that you wove, that you created. And then you were like, you know what? I'm going to place these swords here so that way if anyone comes at me, I have a defense mechanism. And then you were like, you know what? I still can see people coming. I'm going to blindfold myself. You literally did this to yourself. So if you want to get out of it, remove the blindfold, sit up, turn those swords the other way, and get up and start doing things. It's one of those things where being in your head isn't going to change your situation. You need to get up and you need to actually do things to start making the difference. Two of Coins in its reverse position. I want to remind you that Pentacles is not just about finances. It's about your energy and it's about your energy and it's about your time. Why do I say that? Because you spend time and you spend energy. And when I get the Two of Coins in its reverse position, I'm literally seeing that you are just so in its upright position, you're juggling, and you're juggling pretty well and you're staying balanced. In its reverse position, you are just wobbling all over the place. That unicycle is going left and it's going right, and it's barely staying up, if it's staying up at all. Your time and energy are being spent on extreme to extreme to extreme, and you're not giving yourself the chance to rest, to be still. And actively being still, being present in the moment, which is what Wusa is all about, that's not just staying trapped. Active stillness, being in the present, is bringing yourself to balance. We need to be active about what we're doing. Page of Coins in her upright position. So pages are always new. And when you have the Page of Coins, it's this ability for you to have new energy and new access to different resources. I'm not going to say that, new finances are coming into your life, because that is not what I'm feeling whatsoever for this reading. What I do feel like you're receiving is new resources of information that can help you to get out of the situation. New resources of connections of people who you can reach out to and who can help you through this because they've already gone through it, or they have, ways to help you organize and plan this. Because whatever you're doing, wherever you're at, this is something new that you're working on to get through. This isn't something that you've already gotten through once and you can get through it again. This is new in the sense of if you actually choose to tear down the illusion and be honest with yourself, it'll be the first time. And so this Page of Coins is coming in and saying that, hey, yeah, this is new experience for you, and you're going to have to figure out how to spend your energy and spend your time in a way that works for you, but we need to start planting the seeds. And when you start planting the seeds, you have to allow yourself to understand that, yeah, you might fail, and that's okay. Because here's the truth about failing. Failing means that you attempted something. It means that you tried something, that you did something different. So if you're tearing down this illusion and you're being honest with yourself and you're really trying to take up that responsibility and be honest with yourself, then you are going to possibly fail, and that's okay. But it's okay because you're trying to do something different. You're being honest with yourself. You're not just jumping from thing to thing to thing, looking for the easiest and the most convenient way out. You're being honest, and it starts with you 100% actively being honest with yourself and actively being in the present. Now I want to ask the cards what it is that we can do to help us be more honest with ourselves, to help us be clear and understanding. Because the Wusaw, the active present moment, the meditation, the, being with yourself in the moment is an easy thing to say, but sometimes you need a little bit more than that, because meditation, if it's not something that you're used to doing, isn't really going to be useful. Journaling might be more useful than that, but let's see what the cards have to say about how to help us find our truth and understand what it is we're really running from. I'm just moving cards all over the place. All right, we have inflow with money. Okay, so this tells me that part of what is keeping you where you're at has to do with finances. And whether it be that the person that you're being trapped with, or the fact that you're feeling trapped, has to do with because this is where you are receiving your finances from. Like, is it a toxic job? Is it a relationship where you're dependent on the other person? It's got something to do with money. And I get that when you're in flow with money, that is a very needed resource in today's life. But that is not a reason for you to stay where you're at and allow yourself to suffer and feel continuously trapped. Unstick the stuck. So that 100% goes with this Eight of Swords card, because it's one of those things where you have to do the work in order for you to get out of your situation. You have to be honest with yourself. You have to be clear. Maybe it has to do with something with you rearranging things or moving things around in your physical realm, so that way you can get to whatever is going on in the inside in your mental realm. But yeah, you got to do something. Choose who you are becoming. All right. That is 100% with you breaking that illusion, and you understanding that this Page of Coins here is here to say that you want something different. You want something new, and it's up to you to plant the seeds. So who is it that you truly want to be? And what is it that you want to do to get yourself out of the situation? Who's the authentic version of you that you're willing to show? Gratitude again. So this is a reminder that you need to be honest about what you're thankful for. I'm not saying that you should be thankful for, the things that other people tell you to be thankful for. Like if, someone, I don't know, if a friend who's like, yeah, you should be thankful that I'm willing to spend time with you. Okay, but if they're not actually adding to your life, then you don't need to be thankful for that. If they're draining you and just exhausting you, I wouldn't be thankful for that. Be thankful for the things that really, truly bring you gratitude. And continue overly and overly and overly and overly to focus on the things that are bringing you gratitude again and again and again. Because the more you focus on that, the more you get to who you truly are on the inside and what it is that truly makes you happy. What's your honest truth? Wow. Okay, cards. So that's what we've practically been asking since this reading started. And this card really needs you to actively be in the present and be still and be clear with yourself. You need to start laying those new seeds, because what is your honest truth? What is it that you're hiding from? What is it that you're running from? It's time to get real clear on that and, decide, I'm the master of my own fate. I'm the master of my destiny, and I need to do what is right for me. Now I want to ask the cards to help us just know what it is to help us uncover that truth, because clearly there's a lot more on the surface that's gunking, our vision, that's part of the illusion. And again, I said it from the beginning that I feel like we're just so deep in this that we have forgotten ourselves, we have forgotten who we are, and sometimes it just takes a reminder on how to get back into that position, how to, just remember again at the basis is who you are. Setting clear boundaries is an act of self-love. So I feel like that's your first step. We need to set boundaries, and you need to set boundaries with yourself first. And know that when you set boundaries, not everyone's going to be happy with the boundaries that you set, because all of a sudden you're acting different and you're not, being the yes person or the whatever version of you that they depend on you to be. So let's start defining and setting boundaries. Through honest expression, you can create new connections. So literally just saying about something about journaling or finding ways to connect with yourself. And it doesn't have to necessarily be journaling. Maybe it's painting, fiber arts, maybe it's molding clay, gardening, whatever is your act of expression, you need to get out there and you need to do something. You need to do something to help you work through your emotions, to work through whatever mess you're currently in, so that way you can see clearer what it is you truly want. Oh. And then we have make time for meaningful contemplation. All right, that is another thing that I have been saying throughout this reading, where you need to make time for yourself. You need to make time to be currently present, actively present. It's the Woo-Saw card. It's the Page of Coins, you planting the new seeds. It's you just being honest with yourself and giving yourself the time and space that you need to choose who you're going to become and find out what your honest truth is. And then we have, now is the time to explore and discover who you really are. I'm not going to lie, my last card has been on point and like the epitome of the true message, like over and over again. And if this really doesn't wrap it up any nicer, and with a little bow, because right now this is going to be exploration. You're about to start a journey. This hot air balloon is 100% about that. You are about to start a journey. You're about to, start something new. And this isn't going to be an instant change where it happens overnight. This is going to be a journey where you decide, you know what, I'm going to unlearn all the things that people have taught me are me, and I'm going to start to relearn who I truly am. This is your time to shine and say, I no longer am going to be who or what you expect me to be, but I'm going to be who I currently want to be, who I am at my core, who I am at my heart. And that's a beautiful thing to bring to the world, even if maybe not right away everyone's on board for it. And if you're unsure on what exactly it is that you need to do or who you are at the heart, go ahead and put things in the comments below. Go ahead and let me know what's going on in your head. Give me those thoughts. Give me that confusion. Let's talk it out. We have a community. Let the community support you. If you want more information about your specific situation, there is a link in the description below for private readings. I do have some available dates still, so go ahead and hit me up for a private reading. I also just want to thank you so much for being a part of the collective today. And I want to remind you that you are not walking this path alone. You are now part of this collective, and the collective will support you. I love you, and I'm hoping and wishing the best for you. I cannot wait for you to start this journey and find out who your true self is. This is all I have for you today. I thank you so much, and I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.